XRP going to retrace to 30 cents or even lower levels? In this video, I'm going to give you the whole analysis, exploring way beyond just technical analysis. We'll see the broader perspective, analyzing. First, we're going to have a deep look on Bitcoin and actually what is causing the markets to crash. In the last 48 hours, we can't separate crypto from the real world. So we're also going to have a look at the overall economical scenario that is quite worrying, the geopolitical tensions that are also affecting crypto markets. And that's something that most of crypto analysts are actually ignoring completely. They're just looking blindly at charts. And if you might ask my opinion, I am in crypto since 2017. And I can tell you that most of TA has been completely insane, completely wrong. I just see on a daily basis all of the extremely bullish predictions for Bitcoin and also for XRP. Just look some of the mainstream experts over here and the bold predictions they were making for Bitcoin and this whole narrative, the ETFs and all of this that was being programmed to the masses. I just feel that most people were ignoring the whole scenario. I made several predictions about the market correction. At some point I wrote a whole thread on X why I expect an 80% market crash. I would call it a market meltdown. You can have a look over here. I even openly said that a 30 cents XRP would be possible. Everything clear, I'm extremely bullish on XRP, but I'm not on the short term. In my opinion, a retracement all the way back to the 30 cents area is not out of equation. Now, let's have a look over here. But I want you to first understand Bitcoin made a new all-time high in 2024, but that's very relative if we consider inflation, right? Is $70,000 really more worthy than 67 in 2021? That's something to consider. When we look at the Bitcoin chart, we are operating at a low volume environment. There is not a lot of liquidity. Yes, we made new all-time highs, but understand, the price of an asset really comes down to one simple denominator: buyers versus sellers. If there is enough buyers, the price will move up. It doesn't really need extremely high liquidity for price to make new all-time highs, and the proof of that is that in 2024 we had low liquidity for Bitcoin. You can look that on the charts, that's not my opinion. We had less than half of the liquidity than the previous all-time high in 2021. So what's the big lesson here? So the low volume in 2024 actually means weak support levels. That's why we had massive crypto liquidations. Just alone in this week we had more liquidations than in the entire history of crypto, and that's caused by the weak support level. So whenever financial institutions are offloading their Bitcoins, there's not enough buying orders to actually fulfill these orders, which means the price drops substantially and it's very brutal. We also have to look into the order books. There are less order books. They are about 1/3 of the order books in the previous all-time high. That's likely to be caused from the economical scenario over here. That's why we can't ignore economical scenarios when we're talking about Bitcoin and also about XRP. What that really means: we have hyperinflation, groceries are out of control. Think for a second what the world used to be before pandemic and after pandemic, all right, in terms of economical circumstances. Credit card delinquencies, people are unable to pay off their debts. Bank failures, all right, so we have banks in the brink of collapsing. Massive layoffs, all right, which is also on steroids because of artificial intelligence over here that's going to replace most of the current jobs. So the economical situation is like making a cake. You don't get such critical scenario without all the ingredients that you need for this cake. In this case, one by one, you have the eggs, the flour, the butter, everything is ready for a huge economical meltdown, which is already happening. Massive inflation, student loans, the new generation is unable to pay off their debts. They can't even afford to buy their own property. So there's a huge crisis here, which obviously is affecting the low order books here and the lack of liquidity, because now retail investors have less money in the bank account, so that means less money to the markets. And finally over here, we have all the geopolitical tensions, all right? So we could be heading towards war. Governments need more money. The fastest solution is actually war, debt-based system. We have BRICS nations, which is becoming extremely powerful on the geopolitical landscape. And we have the factor of de-dollarization, which day by day is causing the US dollar to be extremely weaker. Now let's quickly analyze from the crypto perspective what is causing this correction and how that's actually affect XRP as well. So Mt. Gox has over 142,000 Bitcoins, which likely are going to be dumped in the markets, all right? So German government over here with 50,000 Bitcoins, and that represents $2.3 billion. So that's also being dumped in the markets and has been the major cause of last week's correction. Now, if we had more order books and more liquidity in the markets would be capable of absorbing this wall here, all right? But as I explained before, we don't have enough liquidity. Second, miners are offloading Bitcoin. Just in June, 700,000 Bitcoin to cover expenses. So if the price of Bitcoin doesn't move substantially up, that causes the miners to actually sell Bitcoin because they have to cover their expenses. So that's another crisis right here. It's another one of Bitcoin flaws. And finally, we have the ETF buyers, which are in red, and they are likely to sell more. The final scenario here is that a black swan event could actually happen at any moment. Just look for USD, Terra Luna, and some of the past events that we had in crypto, right? Tether collapse. It's very possible to happen. I do have some information on this, okay? Cyber attacks. Ethereum Gate could trigger a massive bear market, right? And Satoshi's identity to be revealed. That would also cause a massive sell-off in Bitcoin or a large exchange failure. That could also trigger a black swan event. For example, Coinbase or Binance. Having that in mind, okay? What that means for XRP. XRP is still following Bitcoin. So if we have a market crash, yes, 30 cents is not out of the equation for XRP. Highly possible scenario, but we have to understand that XRP also is the solution for everything that was discussed here. Liquidity crisis, okay? XRP, XLM, most of the ISO 20022 are said to have a huge relevance on this scenario. XRP is actually the solution for the liquidity crisis. So at any moment we can have a decouple from XRP to Bitcoin, where XRP no longer responds to Bitcoin's movements because that doesn't make sense. XRP has to make its own run. At some point, XRP is going to decouple. But until that happens, it will still respond to Bitcoin. So definitely at 30 cents XRP is possible. But I'm not selling my XRP because I'm keeping my XRP because I understand the bank failures. I understand that we are heading towards a global reset. And XRP is the foundation for the new financial system. XRP is going to move trillions of dollars in cross-border payments, let alone tokenization of real-world assets. So yes, XRP could trade below 30 cents. I do have buying orders here, okay? Today morning, I had some orders executed at 0.39, okay? I also have a buying orders at 0.27, and my final buying orders for XRP are at 0.16 cents. I'm looking for these three targets here. One has already been reached. And no, I'm not selling my XRP. I'm taking this occasion to accumulate more XRP, and I do believe that if you don't have enough XRP, this whole moment in time here is your final chance, is literally a blessing for most people right now that you have the opportunity to accumulate XRP at such low levels. Understand that XRP can decouple from Bitcoin at any moment. That's why you don't trade your XRP. That's why I have your XRP in cold wallets, all right? I like always to analyze from the geopolitical and economical scenarios. Just look, the pandemic, what it did to Bitcoin price. It actually has literally crushed. Can't ignore the real world, and we have to understand this is a very sensitive moment. With low liquidity in the markets, any small headlines capable of crashing Bitcoin price. Your favorite mainstream analyst will not tell you this. That's why they were telling everyone on Fox News, CNN, buy Bitcoin is going to go to 300K in June. And notice, I will never tell you XRP is going to reach $10 next week, $100, never. I always say my perspective is for the long term, even though it's very dangerous to say something will never happen. I'm always prepared for both scenarios. A massive correction or actually an explosive movement upwards. Let's hope for the first. Let's be prepared for the second. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.